All right, what's going on is our turkeys. I ordered up 4 white broad-breasted turkeys, and hatch date is today. So I should get an email probably this afternoon about them being shipped really soon. And so I've got my brooder here, and we've got to get this thing cleaned up. Get their waterers all cleaned out, get their feeders all cleaned out. I have new bedding for them right here. So we'll make sure my heat lamp works good. We'll get all that cleaned up, clean up the bulb. Just go through this whole thing and clean it out. And this is how you can, if they're old enough and it's warm enough, not today, today's cold, it's in the 40s, I can take that screen out I have, and this top actually closes. Ta-da! The birds will be completely heated in here. My heat lamp's right there. And I do have that cross ventilation right here. So the birds will be safe, and they are kept nice and warm. But, all right, let me get emptying this all out and get this thing cleaned up, and we'll show you what it looks like. What I usually do is, I mean, this is old poop and whatever else from the last set of birds. I used to go through, scrape this all up, kind of like I did here, clean it all up as best I can. Then I go ahead and take the wire brush to it. Let's get it clean as you can, you know. And I notice the birds are going in, get everything clean. We'll wash it all really good. And what these are for here is, these right here, is when the birds do get older, and what I end up doing, because you know when you have birds that are young, they always kicking up that the sawdust, not sawdust, but the wood chips. Boy, it's cold. I'm putting my hoodie on. Anyway, what I usually do is, let me take this out of here. When they get bigger, so they don't keep kicking in there, I actually go ahead and set my feeder on top of here, so it's raised up so that birds will eat out of this. And I just keep raising it. Same as the food. As you can see, as soon as these chicks get like a day old, 2 days old, this I'm moving in. I set it here. The chicks can step up on here, and then they get their feed. They don't step like this one here. They would step right on the wood chips and then get in your feed. So we don't want that, and so we'll get this all cleaned up. All right, I'm going to start cleaning this all out. I got my wire brushes, my scraper. But first things first, guys. Mask up. Yeah, you don't want to inhale none of this stuff that's in here. The dust, nothing. All right, I got it pretty much cleaned out. I've wire brushed all of this, and I wiped it down real quick, and I vacuumed it all out. So this here is pretty clean. Did the inside. As I always say, every year I replace my heat lamp bulb, whether it needs it or not. Hey, we still have cold weather, and if that fails overnight because of an old bulb and I lose my animals, that's my bad. I don't do that. And this is brand new, 250 watt. I've always used red. I've had people tell me don't use red, use white. I've had all kinds of stuff. I really don't give a flip. This is what I've been using for a long time. I've been raising birds here for 6 years, and I've done other chickens at my other property that I used to live on for 3 more years. So this is what we're doing. We're putting a new bulb in. I've already cleaned the inside of my heat lamp up. My old bulbs I take out of here. During the winter time, I do, if it gets extreme cold out to these animals, I put heat lamps there, so I save those bulbs for them. So let's go get this cord and let's plug it in. Let's make sure that it works. Yes, we are lit. Now guys, very critical, don't make this stupid mistake. 250 watt bulbs takes a special heat lamp, okay? Look, this is porcelain, okay? That's porcelain. It's made for 250. If you have the old plastic style that's set and it's only 120, You better not go put a 250 bulb in that 120 spot, because you will melt. You can cause fires. You're talking about not caring about your animals. That's it. This is a 250 watt light assembly. It's this old. I've had this thing a long time, but that's what this is. This is a 250 watt assembly. That's why that's porcelain. It can handle it. I do have other heat lamps. As a matter of fact, I have a heat lamp in here on my gardening. All right. You see how that's black and plastic? That's only rated for 120. Clear bulb. That is a 120 bulb. You guys got to be careful what you do. You just can't throw anything in that. You must go what it calls for. So, there we go. That's done. Now we're going to do the bedding. Let's get this bedding done. Okay. We're going to get the get this in here. Now, if you look, this is large flake. I do not put the fine cut in here because if you think about it, the birds are looking for food, and if they see these little tiny crumbs, they'll start eating this stuff. So I go to the larger flakes. I always did. All right, let's see where we're at here. Remember, heat lamps here, so the birds are going to want to come nest in this area, lay down together. So we need to keep plenty of the bedding here for them. All right, let me put some more down on this side. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to show you something else I do. Let me get it set up. All right, what I've got here is I've got a board. I'm actually going to split this brooder. I only split the brooder at the very beginning to keep all the birds here because they're very critical and need to stay warm. So I push them, I keep them here for the first, maybe the first 5 days, and then I'll open this all up to them. But what I do is, it's the same one I've used time and time again. I got 2 screws in it. I'm gonna set it in here. It's gonna sit right there, and I'm gonna screw it in. They don't have to be tight because the chickens ain't gonna push it. There you go. Now that keeps all the baby chicks in this end of the brooder, and with the heat lamp I'll have the water over here. I'll have all that set up for them, and I'm just doing that for the first few days just so they get a little bit more healthier, they're used to what their environment is, they're used to where the food is and the water will be. So these feeders are probably going to be for when the turkeys get a lot bigger. This one here, but right now we're going to put them with that, and after a few days that board will come on out and they'll have a run of all this. Everything in here is cleaned up, ready for whenever we need it, if we need those. Usually this big run and this one I'll have for my meat birds set up, and so they can all eat. But got my water jug completely cleaned up. It's ready to go. That food thing's all cleaned up, wire brushed and washed out. This is all ready. Now, one thing I do on here, because the chicks will still drag some of that wood chips in the water, I'm going to get I don't have cardboard right now. My wife is bringing some home today. I'll cut a square out and I'll set under here so the chickens or the turkeys have to walk on a cardboard first to get to the water, and then that'll help eliminate a lot of them flipping up. If you ever seen it, they do this stuff when it gets in the water. So I've learned by doing that. Another thing that I do, as the animals get bigger, I actually will start laying boards, 2x4s underneath. So this starts raising up, so less likely for them to get the food in, the wood chips in here. And I do the same with the food. It starts rising up. And that's kind of what this is for right here. I'll lay that in there, and as they get bigger, I put that there like that, and then the birds, I have it more secure, but then the birds have food, don't have to worry about that getting in here. But anyway, guys, this is ready. And then guys, and once again, here is the screening I put on. That sits like this. This is for when it's really warm out, they can get a lot of air. That's how that works there. And then if it's cold, I take that off and flip that shut, which it should be cold. We're supposed to be in the 30s this week for a few mornings. And so that'll be shut, and I'll have the heat lamp on waiting on them. And hopefully, see tomorrow or Friday, we will get them. My guess, probably Friday, I'm assuming. All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for coming along. And when I get the turkeys, I'll bring you along what I do with the turkeys. See you later. Bye.